The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. One Sabbath day, Jesus went to dine at the house of a ruler who belonged to the Pharisees, and they were watching him. And behold, there was a man before him who had dropsy. Jesus spoke to the lawyers and to the Pharisees, saying, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath, or is it not?" But they were silent. Then he took him, and he healed him, and he let him go. And he said to them, "Which of you, having a son or an ox that has fallen into a well, will not immediately pull him out on a Sabbath day?" And they could not reply to this. The Gospel of the Lord. Sometimes the laws and regulations of the religious community, in this case Judaism, but can also apply to the church. Sometimes they can obscure God. I remember Thomas More when he was in the Tower of London. Remember, he was Chancellor of England, but he would not accept that King Henry's marriage was lawful. But when he was questioned, he said he used to hide in the thickets of the law. He used to hide in the thickets of the law, like dodging from bush to bush. And that's a case where the law and the regulations can be very helpful and protective. But they can also get in the way of pure religion. They can also obscure love. It can become a kind of idolatry almost. I am so concerned about the ritual and about the things of God and about the laws of the church that I forget the fundamental principle of love. Love that surpasses everything. St. Augustine, and I like to quote him sometimes, St. Augustine, the great African saint, said, "Amor et fac quod vis." Love, and then do what you want. When your actions are determined by love, when your actions are motivated by love, then you are obeying all the commands, which can be summed up in the one principle: love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. But the case of the Pharisees and the scribes, the law was more important. The small laws were more important than the big fundamental law. And Jesus tried to engage them. He tried to bring them into a conversation. He tried to educate them, educare, lead them out from their false notions. And he failed, because they eventually just closed their hearts, closed their minds, and silenced him the only way they knew how: kill him. You remember back in the 60s, some of you can remember that back, John Lennon's great song, "All you need is love." All you really need is love. But when we read that first reading, and you see, or you remember the situation that Paul is in, he's in chains. It's probably during his Roman incarceration, when he knows that death is awaiting him, when they're going to cut off his head, just like that guy cut off the head of the young lady in Notre Dame Basilica in Nice. And for the same reason, because he was insulting God. That's why they killed Jesus. That's why that young man killed those people. But when we see Paul, and he's in prison, and he's suffering, and he's in chains, and when he talks to the people of Philippi, what does he talk about? Does he talk about laws and regulations? He talks about love and how he misses them and how he loves them with the affection of Jesus. You know, I'm sure some of you, your children, your grandchildren, might be far away. And you feel the tug in your heart. And you feel that longing. And you feel that love. And you feel that compassion. That's what Jesus felt. That's what God feels when he looks at us. And that must never be lost. Increase it. It is from God. Amen.